Okay, so this is what is going to happen, and there are slightly different, narrations that have come into the Shia school or the school of the Ahlul Bayt. But basically, the general message is that the Imam is going to come in the Kaaba, and he's going to talk to the whole world, address the whole world, and then, he will exhort people to come to the Quran, to Rasulullah, to the unity of Allah to start with, and then he'll talk about the status of the Ahlul Bayt and the oppression that was done onto them, and so on and so forth. And then he will have 313 followers who are the most brave, most pious, most learned, with most knowledge, courageous people who are good people who will join the Imam. And it will be a miracle that the Imams, the Imam will show with the help of Allah, that Allah will bring all the 313 to him in Mecca from all across the world, and they will be there. The Imam will be there. It is said between the Rukun and the Maqam. The Rukun being the Rukun of Hajar Aswad. The Kaaba has four corners. One of the corners, which you must have seen pictures of if you have not been to Kaaba, then the pictures is where the black stone is from Jannah. And we all go, when we go for Umrah or Hajj, we go and kiss the stone as well. So where the black stone is, that's called the Rukun of Hajar Aswad. Hajar means stone, Aswad means black. So that's between that place and the Maqam. Maqam is the Maqam of Ibrahim alayhi salam, where Ibrahim alayhi salam stood and prayed 2 rakat after his, where he stood and did all his prayers and all that. We also pray behind it, and that is called the Maqam Ibrahim. So Imam is going to stand between that area. So it's not a lot of distance in that area, and the 313 people will be there with him there. And there's a lot of things that happens. But let me ask you the third question, which is there in this chapter. It is, where will the Imam establish his capital? Answers in the chat box now, please, quickly. Yeah. Murtaza, Shafara, Ghazanfar. Okay. Any more answers? Quickly type it in, please. It's only 4 letters or 5 letters to type, but 3 letters, whatever you want to type. Everybody, please type your answer now. Where is the Imam going to establish his capital? Mehek, okay. Abbas. Who else is not written? Rayan. Abbas says Iran, okay. Rayan is not writing? Okay. Yes, brother. Iman, okay. Rayan. Okay, thank you all very much. The capital will be Kufa, not Iran, not Mecca, not anywhere else. It'll be Kufa. The Imam will establish his capital in Kufa. So he will come in Mecca. He'll rise from there, but he will head on and then make Kufa his capital. Okay. So what's going to happen is, during the time of the Imam, when the Imam comes, they'll also rise a Sufyani, who is from the lineage of Abu Sufyan of Bani Umayyah, which, in Bani Umayyah, the lineage was, the Muawiyah and Yazid were also the lineage of Bani Umayyah. So that's where Imam is going to rise. Hold on a second, boys and girls, please hold on 1 minute. Sorry about that. So there's a Sufyani who's going to rise, and he will indulge in a lot of killing. a lot of killing in the Middle East, Palestine, Iraq, Syria, and he will establish his capital in Syria. And then he will go from Syria, he'll send a big army from Syria towards the Imam to attack him and his followers. And between Medina and Mecca, when the army is coming, the earth will open up to swallow the entire army. And that's going to be one of the big signs that the Imam is there. And people will, even more people will start following him. The people who are followers of these 313 noble people, who, like these people in the world, they will be following their leaders, who will be following Imam alayhi salam, the 313. And then a lot more people will start coming to this direction by seeing what has happened. And the Imam is going to go ahead and establish his capital in Kufa, and then he's going to deal a death blow to these evil forces. And the next question is, answer your questions in the chat now on question number: who will pray behind Imam Mahdi alayhi salam? Okay, Mehak. Okay, Abbas. Who else? Shafara. Okay. What about the rest of you? Wazanfar. Okay. Who else is writing? Rayan, where are you? Come on. Iman. Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, it will be Isa alayhi salam, or Jesus the Christ. He will reappear and he will pray behind Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. And what will happen due to that is that all the people who follow Isa alayhi salam, namely the Christians, they will see that Jesus is praying behind the Imam, and they will join the forces behind the Imam. Because if Isa alayhi salam is following the Imam, then the people who follow Isa alayhi salam will follow the Imam as well. Most of them, that is. Not all, but there are lots of them who will come and follow. And the Imam will have a big following from that time in the world. So next question for you all is, who are the two evil forces that the Imam alayhi salam will defeat? Answer your questions now. Two names. Now. Thank you, Abbas. Come on, the rest of you as well. Please start typing. Mehek, thank you very much. I've already given you one answer, and you know the second answer in any case. It should be quick. Rayan, Ghazanfar, Iman, Murtaza, where are you? Come on. Yes, Ghazanfar, that's one answer. Murtaza, thank you. No more. Ah, okay. Ghazanfar, well, whoever is, no, Rayan, you not got it right. I mentioned one of them is Sufyani. Sufyani is from the lineage of the Umayyads, the lineage of Muawiyah and Yazid and the rest. So he's from the lineage of that line, from the Bani Umayyah, which is why he's called Sufyani. From the lineage of Abu Sufyan. And he will be one of the rulers who will be very, very harsh and very, very, very evil. And then there will be the Dajjal. Although Dajjal, the system is already there, but there will be a person who will be leading there as well. And Imam alayhi salam, with the help of Jesus alayhi salam, will kill the Dajjal in Jerusalem. So that's what Imam alayhi salam is going to defeat, those two evil forces. And there'll be lots of battles. It'll be a very, very hard time till the Imam gets a control over all these evil forces and establishes his own system of governance. And that's when we will have peace and justice all over the world for the time to come. Okay, now I'm going to go. I've already covered some part of the chapter. I'm not going to read through the chapter because I'm just through these questions. Pretty much, I've covered most of the part of the chapter. However, I'm going to just run through some of it, and then you can read the chapter and answer the detailed questions below them. So once the Imam comes, this is what's going to happen. The Dajjal will be the one who will con a lot of people. The Christians refer to it as an antichrist. Lots of fights are going to happen. Imam al-Islam is going to defeat all these, and what will happen then is that Imam will reveal a lot of knowledge, and the world and the skies will, take up all the blessing that is within them and shower it on the surface of it. So we'll have lots of abundance of everything, and whoever is alive at that time. So that is the main thing that will happen. However, before that, there will be lots of troubles. Now, we, as the followers of the Imam, the main thing that we do is that we are waiting. As the book says, intizar. We are waiting for the Imam to return, and with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, as we discussed already, it is not only the Shia who are waiting for the Imam to come in, it's also Sunnis. The concept is there in Christians as well, of the Messiah. They are waiting. Now, the challenge for us at this moment is, when we are waiting, are we going to just sit and wait with our hands on each other and just sit and wait? No. When we wait, it is active waiting. It's not just passive waiting where you lie down on your bed and just do nothing about it. What we're doing is, we have to promote the cause of the Imam. What is the cause of the Imam? We have to make sure that we are well versed in the Quran and the Hadith. We don't doubt the presence of the Imam right now, which is a problem in some Shias, where they think that no, there's no Imam. It's not turned up for 1300 years or whatever it is. So I think it was his 1186th birthday. So it's nearly 1200 years. But some people, for human beings, the name is in the word itself, insan. We are forgetful as a creature. If we don't see something regularly, if we don't practice it regularly, then we think it's not there, and we forget. That is a trap we all should not fall into. It's very, very important to be aware that the Imam is present. Imam is present all the time. He knows that we are trying to learn about him right now. And may Allah give us the guidance to be truthful followers of the Imam. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Wherever you're sitting, recite aloud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. May Allah give us more tawfiq to learn more about him and his teachings and practice it. And that's how active intizar is done. The active waiting is done. So for us to be waiting, Imam is also waiting for us to be ready. It's like saying then we all should go into Jannah. Well, if we go in this condition, we will not be able to tolerate Jannah, because we are not prepared for it. Our souls are not prepared for it. We have to actively prepare our soul so that we can actually enter Jannah. Because for a soul which is unprepared, with lack of beliefs or good beliefs, the correct beliefs, with lack of good deeds, with lack of active participation in improving others, that is, that's Amr bil Maruf. So we have to do all this to prepare our souls, and it's hard work. So when we do all this, then only we can expect that our souls are prepared for Jannah. Similarly, Imam is waiting for us to prepare ourselves so that he can come in. I mean, if he comes in now, I don't know many people at this moment who are capable of actually working for the Imam. I personally don't know many people. I don't know too many people in any case. But generally speaking, from whatever I know, am I ready for the Imam's trials and tests? I doubt it. I've got too many skeletons. I'm trying to prepare myself. I'm working hard towards it, but we are not yet there. Otherwise, if we were all there, 313, if we were ready, the Imam would be here. And we'll fight for the causes, all the problems that are happening in this world. We will fight for finishing off all of them, and then, establish his own government. And that's why Allah has not given the permission, because there's not many people ready for the Imam. So we should not doubt the presence of the Imam that is there. He is in ghaiba. We don't recognize him because of our own shortcomings. Remember that. Imam is there. He's always there in Hajj. He's there at the funeral of a mu'min who does not owe any khums. He's there on these occasions. So just because you can't see him with your own physical eyes, you can't see a picture of him, so that doesn't mean that he's not there. He is there. And it is possible for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep him in hiding from the others, in people not recognizing the Imam. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept Nuh alayhi salam alive in this earth for more than 1,000 years. He did tabligh to try to spread the word for more than 900 years. And even now, not lots, but a few people are still alive, like Hazrat Khidr alayhi salam, Hazrat Idris alayhi salam, they're all alive. Isa alayhi salam is alive for 2,000 years, as we all know, in a different realm altogether, but he is alive. Allah can keep people alive if he wants to. So it's not very difficult for Allah to keep somebody alive for 1186 years or something like that. It's not a difficult thing for Allah to keep somebody alive in ghaiba behind a sort of a curtain. Curtain is our own mind, our own actions, our lack of piety. That is what is the problem with us. So we have to indulge in good practice. And we should talk to the Imam, just like you talk to your parents. I want this, I want that, I have this problem, please help me sort out this problem. We should talk to the Imam, see how he helps. I have personal experience of Imam coming and helping in my time of very sharp need. I didn't see the Imam himself. Nobody can claim that. If somebody starts talking that I've seen the Imam, this, that, and the other, you know that he's not right. There's some fishy story going on. But he's there. If you speak with him, my personal experience, I can guarantee he will never let you down. Inshallah ta'ala. The help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will never let you down. You know, there are certain difficulties which you can't talk to anybody. You can't talk to your friends. You can't talk to your brothers and sisters. You can't talk to your parents, your teachers, because half the time you know that most of them don't have a solution. Most of them can't help you, or sometimes you're embarrassed to ask anybody. That's one occasion, for example. I'll just give you an example. You can talk to the Imam anytime. At least we should make it a point to talk to the Imam twice a day. Once when you get up and once before you go to sleep. So we should talk to the Imam, and at the time of trouble, when there is no hope, there is only one hope. And that is Allah and his vicegerent, or the Imam, or the representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's only one hope. And he will come and help in a manner that you will not believe. Take my word from it. I've been teaching you for 4 or 5 weeks now. You know, if you have just got a little bit of understanding of how I roll, when I say something, I mean it. It's not a story that I'm telling you now. I can guarantee you in times of trouble, he will help you. He will never let you down. The role of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam is to pick us up, to raise us. That's what they do. They love their lovers. I mean, it's very, very strong for me to call ourselves as his followers, because we don't follow most of the time. If we followed, all of us who call ourselves the Shias of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, or in other words, we call ourselves the followers of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, the Imam would be here. But we are not followers yet. We should try to be. We are lovers of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. And he likes to raise all the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, all the Imams, all the Masumin, try to raise us, to get us closer to them. But then we fall back and we don't remember them. That's our problem. So we should become in a good connection with Imam alayhi salam. That's the main thing. A main thing during this waiting period is to be able to connect with the Imam, that he knows who are the persons he can count upon. You know, if the Imam can count upon any of us, rest assured that your world, your akhirah, your dunya, everything has been sorted out. Just one thing, if the Imam can count upon one of us, that person is sorted, right? Because our life in this world is only short. Even though we might live for 100 years, it's still short compared to the time we'll be in the realm of Barzakh, and then the time we'll be in the realm after the Day of Judgment, which is either paradise or hell? Of course, we'd like to discount hell because we don't want to end up in hell. Because Imam Ali alayhi salam said, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, that, human beings are made for heaven, for paradise, for Jannah. So don't sell yourself short so that you don't end up in Jannah. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so beneficent, so merciful. He's looking at excuses to put us in Jannah. Well, we are trying to do our level best to keep away from Jannah. It is actually more difficult to end up in hell than in heaven, because you must have done serious, really, really bad stuff to end up in hell. Why? Because and of course our examination is harder because we claim to be lovers of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, and we claim to be following them, which we are not. Let me repeat that again. Not doing our full to follow them, and we should try better, and that's why our examination is better, because we have more resources, as in we have all the Imams of the Ahlul Bayt who try to come to us to teach us. We have the Quran and the Hadith, and we have the living Imam. And if we still fail, come on, there's no excuse. It is what we call the definition of stupid, isn't it? We have all the resources, we know what to do if you're not doing it. And this is like a lifetime of bliss in eternity that we are looking at here. Why don't we just take a little bit of a challenging time now and struggle a little bit more here so that we can do better in the afterlife? That's the whole thing. Yes, okay, there's a question that's come in. Will it either be Jannah or Jahannam or both at times, as we all commit sins but are good too? Very good question. Okay. Can I bank this question for a little while, Iman, if you don't mind? And then I'll discuss it with you a little bit later, inshallah. Is that okay with you, or do you want it now? Because, I'm in full flow at this one. Let's complete this, and then we talk about your question, inshallah. Okay? Cool. Thank you very much. Okay. So, yeah. So the Imam is always there. He's waiting for us to connect with him all the time. The main thing to do is keep ourselves away from haram at any cost. Any cost. If we keep ourselves away from haram, what we are doing is making space available for all the halal to come in. Remember, one haram creates a barrier between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then another haram creates a further barrier, and more and more. So if we have more barriers, there's not much scope for the halal to come in. So there's a barrier which prevents the good from coming into you. You're a good soul now, you're young, you have not done many sins, inshallah you won't do in the future as well. And we want more goodness to come into ourselves. Everybody's looking for goodness, which is why everybody wants to be very pretty, everybody wants to be living long, everybody wants to be very strong. Why? Because these are traits of perfection, and the human being is made to achieve perfection. However, a human being in the material world does not have the chance to get to perfection. He can only try, he can only seek, he can get close to it, but he can't get to perfection. And that is why the soul never dies, and we go into the next realm. We are on a higher level where we are closer to perfection. And similarly, when we are in Jannah, we are very close to perfection. We are in the realm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the better the deeds that were done by people in this world, the more chances of getting very, very close to perfection. Because remember, happiness over there is about being closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is why intizar, all this chat is about intizar. And intizar is very important, to be active in the intizar. And active means develop your akhlaq at all times. It's not just about cramming the science, the geography, and the practice of the maths and bodybuilding and all that. It's all good. You have to do this all to survive in this world. You have to make money, earn a good living, provide a good living to your dependents, whoever they are, whether it's your elderly parents, whether it's your wife or husband or children. However, the important thing is to develop our akhlaq all the time, whether it's be men or women. There's no rules or demarcations for men and women. Everybody has to have good akhlaq. End of the story. And that's what the Imam is looking for: to be courageous, to be pious, to be generous, to be learned. All these things, and then physically strong as well. We need to work ourselves in such a manner that we are fit. They don't need to be bodybuilders. You don't need to have like ripping six packs and muscles bulging out from everywhere. No, you need to be fit, which means you need to eat the correct food and the good food. Need to be getting up from our sitting positions, be actively walking or running or whatever, doing some kind of exercise, and listening to your parents, keeping your parents happy. That's getting close to Allah. Okay, now that's this chapter that I've done on the Imam alayhi salam. I want all of you, this is your homework, to read that chapter, because I just ran a gist of it and I given my thoughts on it. The question was whether will it be either Jannah or Jahannam or both at times, as we all commit sins but are good too. It's a very tricky question. I'm not sure how to answer this at your level, but I will try to give an answer, Iman. Uh, if we end up in Jahannam or hell, may Allah forbid that, Auzubillah, it's not an easy place. You think the difficulties of this world are difficult? Well, the difficulties of hell are worse, and they last a long time. Long time means a long time. We don't want to go to that part in any case. Some people will be going to hell to be purified, to be in a position to be able to accept the goodness of Jannah. And that's why I said, everyone needs to be in a position where they can be able to accept what Jannah has to offer. Jannah is not just like streams and rivers flowing by and fruits, and you don't have to do anything, you just think and it comes to you. But we are in the realm which is close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to be able to take that. That's the main thing. Musa alayhi salam wanted to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He couldn't even bear the flash of lightning. He fainted. The mountain was burnt in that part when the flash of lightning happened. Now, this is Musa alayhi salam we are talking about. So getting close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is something that our souls need to be prepared for. We need to be in a good place in our soul to be able to get into Jannah. Hopefully, we will have done enough good deeds in this world so that we have a better barzakh and a good, judgment day where we all end up in Jannah. And so I would say, man, don't worry about going in between. Yes, there will be people who will go through Jahannam to end up in Jannah, but there will be some people who will always be there in Jannah, in Jahannam, in the hell area. So it's a big eschatology, is a huge topic. Eschatology basically talking about life after death. It's a huge topic in Islam. So let's answer your question simply, because I had this tendency to start explaining and rambling and get into too much depth, which is not required at the moment, I guess. Yes, some people will end up in hell for some time. And once they've paid their penance, they will end up in Jannah. Because nobody goes from Jannah to Jahannam, but you always go towards perfection. So once you reach the perfection level, you don't come back from there. That's the answer to your question. Another one is, how non-Muslims will good people who have good akhlaq, they won't go to hell, but somewhere in between. What about atheists? Okay. To answer your question, Abbas, Allah decides who He wants to send to heaven and hell. He is the one who is the judgment maker, who is the judge, rather. We should not be bothered about others. There might be politicians, good people or bad people. There might be Muslims, good people or bad people. There might be other kinds of people who are in faith. There might be atheists who are in non-faith. It's up to Allah to judge them. For us, it is about doing the good so that we are able to get to the right place in the end and hopefully help some other people around us to get there as well. That's our aim. Okay, let's not worry about what the others are going to do. Yes, Muslims especially have this tendency to try to be judged and think about what's going to happen to this guy. he's such a good person. What's going to happen to this person? Is he not going to end up in Jannah? He's my friend as well. Well, he might. We don't know. We don't know about ourselves. Forget about anything else. Just because you follow or you claim to be following the school of the Ahlul Bayt doesn't mean that you're going to Jannah. We have to work towards it, and we have to make sure that we're going there. Hopefully that will answer your question. Atheists, well, there are different kinds of atheists. I'm not going to discuss that with you now. Maybe sometime in private. But atheists are a different thing altogether. We have to discuss in detail about what does atheist mean and which is a typical atheist, all that stuff. Let's leave that. All I'm saying is we all concentrate and prepare for the Imam of our time to come, and come quickly, inshallah, because this world is getting into a nasty place now. And if we are prepared for the Imam and the Imam comes and helps us to get to a nice living, inshallah, we'll all end up in heaven. And that will be the whole goal of it. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Okay, now we have about 20 minutes to go. I want to go through the last chapter of this section, which is Qiyamah. It is one of the most important pillars, or the Usuluddin. After Tawheed, it is the most important thing, that we believe in life after death. And that is extremely important to understand, that we are not finished here when we die. Our body, our material dies. The soul is alive and it is active, and it needs a lot of nourishment. It is time for us to make sure that we nourish our souls more than we nourish our bodies. We nourish our bodies enough so that we can survive in this world and live a decent life, inshallah ta'ala. However, I want to make you guys start reading one by one, and pay attention and keep asking questions. The others who are listening, I want you to ask questions in the chat box about this one. I'm going to pick somebody to read, or anybody want to volunteer? Raise your hand. In the next 5 seconds, please. There was another question. Does the body decay after that? Yes, the body decays into dust after that, except for the prophets and the shuhada and all the masumeen, because the earth is not allowed to touch their bodies by Allah's command. Okay, who's raising the hand? Murtala Rizvi has raised the hand. Somebody else, please. Okay, I'm going to pick on people. Okay, Murtaza, unmute yourself and start reading the chapter on Qiyamah. And everybody else, you can interrupt by raising your hand if you have a question. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Hold on, Murtaza, we've got another question. Well, in that case, most people do ghusl on Friday. Well, if you die as a shaheed, then maybe our body will not decay either. That's not the important part. The body is meant to finish off for this world. We have to keep our body healthy and happy. That's the main thing. Our soul needs to be nourished, and we focus on our soul more than our body. If you focus on your soul, the body will be glowing. It'll be charming. It'll have a different light on it. It will always be bright and beautiful. Doesn't matter what color you are, black, brown, white, yellow, doesn't matter. It will have a different color of beauty. Some people you're attracted towards because of the glow they have on their face. You always feel like, wow, they're such good people. They must be such good people, even though you don't know them. It happens to me, at least sometimes. And so there are people who have that inner strength, that inner belief, that iman, that makes their face glow. Inshallah ta'ala, we will also achieve that. Thank you very much. Any more questions? Keep putting it in the chat. But Murtaza, you can start reading. Was it Murtaza?
Okay. Qiyamah. After Tawheed, the most important belief in Islam and the most emphasized subject in the Quran is the belief in life after death. This is called the belief in Ma'ad or Qiyamah, which literally means the resurrection. This will be the day when all humans are raised to life again, and their actions and intentions are judged, and thereafter the good are rewarded with eternal bliss and paradise, and the unjust are rewarded with eternal bliss and paradise, and the unjust are punished with the hellfire. Without belief in Ma'ad, life would have no purpose or meaning. Shall I continue reading?
Yes, please continue one more.
Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Out of the trillions and trillions of Allah's creatures, no one will receive more honor on the Day of Judgment than Rasulullah sallam and his Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. They will be given the highest ranks, and everyone will want to be near them. Rasulullah sallam will be near a fountain called Kawthar, and anyone who gets to drink from this fountain will never feel thirsty again, and will enter paradise. Imam Ali alayhi salam will be given the right to decide who enters paradise and hell, and that is why he is called Qaseem al-Jannati wan-Nar, the distributor of paradise and hellfire. The daughter of Rasulullah sallam, Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra salamu alayha, for example, will be the first one to enter paradise, and she will only go in with her Shia following her. When it is announced on the Day of Judgment, where is the beauty of all worshippers, as-Sajjad, all the trillions of beings
Okay, hold on a
standing.
second, Murtaza. I'm going to interrupt you here. Whenever it is found that, Sayyidatul Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayhi will be the first one to enter paradise, and she will only go in with her Shia following her. Now, all of us so-called Shia get very happy. She'll take us all in with her. No problems at all. But the critical point is in the word itself, the Shia, which means the followers. Hand on heart, you do your own assessment. I do my own. Who are we really following her? That's it. Carry on. Thank you, Murtaza.
All the trillions of beings standing on the plains of Mahshar will see Imam al-Sajjad alayhi salam being ushered forward and cutting through the ranks of people, and everyone will look at him with amazement and great love. In this manner, every individual of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam will be honored and will help their sincere Shia, and those who love them get to go to Jannah, paradise.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, Mahshar is the place where all the people will be aggregating. All the people of all time will be aggregating for the judgment to come. Okay. Ghazanfar Hamdani, can you unmute yourself and start reading, please, from the Book of Deeds?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, can you please reduce the noise in the background and then start?
Yeah, I'm going to a quiet room. Okay.
Okay. Carry on, please.
Book of Deeds. Okay, this one. Every action a person commits in this. Every action a person commits in this life, and every word he or she utters is recorded by angels in a book of deeds. And here's a verse. When the twin recorders record his deeds seated on the right and on the left, he says no word but that there is a ready observer beside him. Surah
Okay,
Qaf.
stop. Okay, yeah. See, what it means is the two angels that are there on our shoulders, they're on the right and on the left, they're reciting what we are saying, what we are doing, all that stuff. So the right side angel does all writing for the good ones, good stuff that we are thinking, saying, doing, not thinking, sorry, but the saying and the doing. The left side is all the negative stuff that we are doing and saying. See what it says in the Quran. Okay, carry on, please, Ghazanfar.
The two angels who record these deeds are called Kiraman and Kiraman Katabin. On the Day of Judgment, everyone will Katibin. On the Day of Judgment, everyone will be given their book of deeds to look at. The good will be given their book in their right hand from the front, and they will be very happy to read it, and they will know it means they are going to Jannah, paradise. And the evil will receive their book in their left hand from the back, and they will be terrified because they will know it means they are heading to hellfire. They will not want to read it, but will be forced to. It will be said to them, we have attached every person's deed to his neck, and we shall bring it out for him on the day of resurrection as a wide open book that he will encounter. Read your book today, your soul suffices as your own encounter.
Yeah. This is the verse again in the Quran, which says that everybody will be made to read their own books. So we are better off doing good stuff, saying good stuff. Otherwise, we'll be literally facing our own accounts on that particular day. What's the next verse? Ghazanfar, please read.
Surah Qaf. The book will be set up, then you will see the guilty afraid of what is in it. They will say, woe to us, what a book is this? It omits nothing big or small without covering it. They will find present whatever they have done, and your Lord does not wrong anyone.
Yeah. So
And
this
your
is
Lord
Surah
does not
Al-Kahf.
wrong anyone.
Yeah. See, I don't know if
Yeah.
you've heard the verse in Surah Al-Zal. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. Even an ayat of goodness that you've done, you will see, and even an ayat of bad that you've done, you will see. Okay, what's saying about the testimony of limbs, please?
The evil will deny what is in their books and will lie and protest. They will argue and even swear that they never committed the sins recorded in their books. Allah will cause their limbs to speak, their tongues will be made silent, and instead their hands and legs will speak. On the
See,
day when
they will
witness
on that
shall be
day.
given against them.
Sorry, on that day there will be no need for the
Yes,
tongue to
fine, sir.
speak. It's going to be your skin, your fingers, your mouth, your eyes, everything will speak and say, this is what was done to me. This is what was done through me. Okay, what is the verse in Surah Nur, please, Ghazanfar?
On the day when witness shall be given against them by their tongues, their hands and their feet concerning what they shall do, what they used to do.
Carry on.
Okay, today we shall seal their mouths, and their hands shall speak to us, and their feet shall bear witness concerning what they used to earn. Surah Yasin.
Yeah. Okay, carry on.
So many other things will bear witness as well. The places where a person did something good or bad will bear witness. The days and nights will bear witness. The earth will bear witness, the Quran will bear witness who reads it and who did not. The masjid will bear witness who prayed in them and who did not, and so on. In other words, in the hereafter, everything will be alive and able to speak.
Thank you very much. Now, masajid is a plural of masjid. One masjid, many masajid. Okay. Who else wants to read, please? The weighing of scales of deeds. Nobody has asked a question yet. Are all of you thinking when the reading is done? Ask me some questions. Who wants to read next? Any of the sisters want to read? Go on. Ilham, Mehek, Shapara, any of you? Saman Shah, you want to read, please?
Okay. The weighing scales of deeds, al-Mizan. Every person's actions, good or bad, will be weighed. How heavy a person's deeds are will depend not only on his or her actions, but also on the person's understanding and the intention behind the actions. For example, if a person prayed only because it was a habit and not really out of love for Allah, their intention was weak, so the salah will not be very light. And if a person is learned in religion and prayed 2 rakahs, his or her salah might be heavier, i.e. have more spiritual merit than a person who prayed 100 rakah but was ignorant. The weight of each salawat you recite for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa wasallam and his Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam will be very heavy. The more you recite it in this world, the happier you will be on the day your deeds are weighed.
Okay, hold on a second, please. Ghazanfar, what is your question? You raise your hand. No. Okay, fine. Yes, please carry on, please, Amansha.
Can you scroll down the page?
Okay, you've done this page already. The more you recite it, in this world, the happier you will be on the day your deeds are weighed. Okay, what does the Quran say?
We shall set up the scales of justice on the day of resurrection, and no soul will be wronged in the least, even if it be the weight of a mustard seed. We shall produce it, and we suffice as accounters. Surah Al-Anbiya.
Yeah, okay. Okay, hang on. There's a question there. That those without limbs, would you consider them lucky? Now, okay, in this world, if you look at normal people, they have hands and legs. So people who do not have their limbs, we don't consider them to be very fortunate, right? Because Allah has deprived them of certain things that are given to a human body. And it might be a good thing for that person in the long run. Yeah, of course. For example, if he had limbs, maybe he was going to go to places where they shouldn't be going, do some acts which he could have done, but he didn't do. He's more innocent. He has less examination. For people who have the limbs, they have more examination because the question is not what you have. Always remember this. It's not about what you have. It's about what you do with what you have. If a person has 100 pounds and a person has 100,000 pounds, it's not about what you have. It's about what you do with what you have. Remember that always. So it's not lucky as such because they are missing some attributes, but the chances of their questioning or the harshness of their questioning is going to be much lesser because they didn't have these, you know, things to do good acts or bad acts either. The thing is, we are given hands and legs so that we can fulfill our duties and use them in the right manner. I'll give you one more thing to remember, which is always take this away. Sometimes these quotations are very, very good and they come from our Masumin alayhi salam. So the first thing I said was, it's not about what you have. It's about what you do with what you have. Okay, that's the first. Second thing, oh, I've lost the track of my thoughts now. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Anyway, it'll come to my mind. I'll say it was something very, very useful. Okay, carry on, please, Saman.
The weighing of deeds on that day is a truth. As for those whose deeds weigh heavy in the scales, it is they who are the successful. As for those whose deeds weigh light in the scales, it is they who have ruined their souls, because they used to wrong our signs.
Yes, thank you very much. Carry on.
Then those whose deeds weigh heavy in the scales, it is they who are the successful. As for those whose deeds weigh light in the scales, they will be the ones who have ruined their souls, and they will remain in hell forever.
Thank you very much. Now, so the reason I made you guys concentrate and read the text is because there are quite a few Quranic references in there, you know, and it is important that you are familiar with these and remember these at least in a gist. I don't expect you to remember all these verses. If you can, it's perfect. We are not very good with the Quran. We should be more, in tune with the Quran says. Now, the next part is the bridge or the sirat. It's called the pul sirat, which is the thing which you have to cross to get into Jannah. Now, it is considered as a bridge that is as fine as a hair and as sharp as the edge of a sword for the people who have not been very good. But for people who have been very good, the same bridge appears like, it's like a broad road with goodness all over it. And under that bridge, there is the hellfire. People who are not meant for Jannah, when they cross this, they will fall down into the hellfire. And the people who are meant for Jannah, they'll walk merrily through into Jannah. And the gates of Jannah will be waiting on the other side of the bridge. It's like, let me give you an analogy that a lot of people will understand. When you're taking a penalty and the goal is there, and you look at it, you go smash it straight in, goes in. And then you come to a critical point in a critical game, and the pressure is high. The goal starts suddenly appearing too small because the goalkeeper starts appearing too big, and the same goalpost appears such a difficult thing to hit a strike into the goal. The goalkeeper seems huge because you're not prepared for it. You don't have the capability to take the tension and think it's the same thing because we're not prepared for it. The preparation is key. Failing to prepare means you prepare to fail. Remember this statement? Failing to prepare, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. So basically, without any preparation, any act you undertake, there's a chance of failing. Remember that. Okay. Now, this bridge is something which is very critical. A lot of people actually will go on that bridge. There will be many people will go on that bridge, on the Sirat, and they will fall down. And they'll start falling, and these people had done their prayers and they've done their psalm and all that. And then they'll keep falling into the hellfire, but they won't reach the hellfire. And they'll keep falling and falling. It'll be a terribly difficult time. And then some things will come and pick them up from there and prevent them from falling into the hellfire. So what will happen? Why? Who will pick it up? It'll be maybe their salah, maybe their good deeds. Salah, if it's salah, will say, well, and you will complain, I used to pray. Why did you take such a long time to pick me up? Salah will say, you always did it at your leisure, whenever you felt like if the time is at 1 o'clock, you did it at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So I've also come when I felt like. It is very, very important that we pray our salah on time. We do it according to what is expected of us, the waqt awwal. And the question come here, did you say those who didn't pray would fall? Not necessarily. It's all dependent on Allah. I'm just giving you an example. Don't take my example as literally that this is what's going to happen. Well, if you did not pray, then the same action, the same quotation comes into play. If you fail to prepare, then you prepare to fail. Because salah is preparation. We have to do our preparation. And salah on time is the biggest. There's a big hadith which you will be interested to know on. That, all the Shia say that we will get the shafa of our imams and we'll end up in Jannah and all that, which is true. Inshallah, we will. So the thing is, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, the people who delay their salah will struggle to get our shafa. That is a huge statement for Imam to make. He does not say people who don't pray is a far cry. He does not expect any of his lovers or followers not to pray. They all pray. They should. They not should. They must pray. And it is talking. Imam alayhi salam is talking about people who delay their salah. Can you imagine how important salah is? It's the first thing that we're questioned in our grave about. Our grave is the beginning of our afterlife. And there's no mom and dad, no brothers and sisters, no friends, no teachers to help us out there. The training is over. You're on your own to go ahead with it. If you're prepared properly in the training, if you've trained properly, your afterlife, your answers will be conducive to that life and you'll have a good life. So yes, I didn't say that those who don't pray would fall under the bridge. Maybe they've done something else. Allah knows best. I don't know. All I know is that we've been given certain criteria, which my job is to give it to you in a very, very serious and a clear manner that we need to train ourselves properly for our own good. Khalas. That's my only statement. Okay. Now, another question that is there is there anyone in Jannah right now? Okay, it's a very, very detailed thing. Well, I'm not sure whether Jannah of the past the day of judgment has been prepared or not, but there is Jannah and Jahannam of the Barzakh, which is there, and the good people are living in that Jannah. They're all good people who have died, so many good people who've died, They can't just be under the ground. Their souls are somewhere in another realm, which we in our material body cannot access. That kind of a soul is living in a realm which has its own Jannah and Jahannam. Some of them are in comfort and peace, surrounded by those kinds of people. Some of them are not in peace because they have not done their training properly. And they have to be purified. If they are able to be purified, if they have not got too many sins, then they will be purified in this barzakhi life, as I said. So in this barzakhi life, they'll be purified and they'll go into Jannah on the day of judgment, or later on in their barzakhi life, they might, a window toward Jannah will open. It's a very detailed discussion on eschatology. Inshallah, we have a session, not session, sessions on eschatology. We can talk about it. We'll have a different course for that. But all I'm saying is that we're talking about the Pul Sarat, which is Sarat is the Ahlul Bayt are the Sarat in the world towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Imam Ali alayhi salam is considered the Sarat al-Mustaqim. And that is what we shall hopefully follow. Not just love them. When I told you in the previous lecture as well, if you love somebody, there is obedience in that. Just saying that I love somebody and this, that, and the other, and you don't obey, listen to them, and you don't care about their feelings, you don't care about what they're saying, what they want you to do, that is not love. That is just like, lip service, as I say. So this is what is about the Pul Sarat. There are many other things. The time is up, but I will just quickly read through it. And if you have questions, please do write the questions in the meantime. And I would expect you to read this chapter as well. Okay. One narration, one part from this I will read is this section that I'm hovering my mouse on Surah Safat. In some narrations, we are told that the Sirat will have many stations. Each station will be a place for one of the duties of Islam. For example, when a person reaches the station of Salah, they will be questioned about it. If they used to take their Salah lightly, they will be punished. Those who pass through all the stations will pass thanks to the mercy of Allah, the intercession or the shafa of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. So this Surah Safat says, but first stop them, for they must be questioned. So everyone will be questioned, apart from the mukhlas, or the ones who are the pure ones. Then the next part says, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to Imam Ali alayhi salam, O Ali, on the day of resurrection, you and Jibreel shall sit on the Sirat, and none shall pass over the Sirat except one who is freed from Jahannam because of your love. Then Rasulullah does not say my love. He says love of Ali alayhi salam. And I said, when you love someone, you obey them. If you say I love them and you don't obey them, you're a hypocrite. Anybody, whether it's me, you, mom and dad, friends, teachers, whoever they say I love Ali alayhi salam, I love Ali alayhi salam, but you don't follow what he said, that's a hypocrite. So when you love somebody, there is obedience in that. You have to listen. Listen to your parents, listen to what the Quran says, listen to what the teachers are saying, all that stuff. So bad behavior, there's no excuse for bad behavior. Okay? Imam Ali alayhi salam is the one that divides Jannah and Jahannam. He's called Qaseemun Nar wa Jannah. Qaseem is the one who divides or distributes. That's what the person is. So the love of Imam Ali alayhi salam is something that will take us towards Jannah, inshallah ta'ala. And that is why in some hadith, this book says, Imam Ali alayhi salam is called Sirat al-Mustaqim, the straight path. The Ma'asumin are called Sirat in this world because they are like a bridge that connects us to Allah, as I mentioned. It is perfectly right to call them the paths of Allah. Those who hold on to the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt in this world will cross the Sirat safely on the day of judgment. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam promised us before leaving this world in a hadith that is known as Hadith al-Saqlain. You all know this hadith. And it's not very difficult, is it? The thing is that there are too many distractions around us, and we tend to be taken in by the distractions. Let's not get taken in by the distractions. Let's focus on the path. On the path, it'll lead to success in this world and also in the hereafter. That's the main thing. Now, you know this Hadith al-Saqlain, I leave behind you two important things. The Saqlain, the Book of Allah and my family, my Ahlul Bayt. If you hold on to them, you will never go astray after me. And these two will never separate until they return to me at the fountain of Kawthar. Imam Ali alayhi salam said, know that you have to pass over the pathway of Sirat, where steps waver, feet slip away, and there are fearful dangers at every step. Who is he warning, Imam Ali Islam? This is our sins, our mistakes, the things that we didn't do, or the things we did that we shouldn't have done. That's why our steps waver, feet slip away, and the dangers. There's no danger. There's no lion sitting there. There's no fire burning on it. Apart from our own barriers that we created for ourselves, we have the what you call we have our own destiny in our own hands. Let's make it good, the destiny. And the final destination, as the day of judgment progresses, the good will separate. If you guys don't mind bearing with me for another 5 or 10 minutes, we'll just complete this section of the book, inshallah, and then we'll go on another one and the next one. So as the day of judgment progresses, the good will separate from the evil and become different communities. And Surah Yasin says, get apart today, you guilty ones. That's how it is being very clear about it. One of the signs that someone is heading to Jannah is that his or her face will be bright and happy, while one of the signs who is destined for Jahannam is that his face will be gloomy and unhappy. You know it. At the time of results in your exams, you know it. If you've done well in your exams, you're always confident. You know, you have that peacefulness in your face. Somebody who's not done well, they know there's going to get a bad result. They know it. They are suffering already before the result has come out. The Quran in Surah Abasa says that day some faces will be bright, laughing and joyous, and some faces on that day will be covered with dust, overcast with gloom. It is they who are the faithless, the vicious. The faithful will keep running toward the direction of Jannah with their faith lighting the way for them. So our own deeds actually will make our way, and our own deeds will be our obstructions. It's as simple as that. I mentioned it, but it's repeating in this chapter while I'm reading it. So with the faith lighting that way for them, while the faithless will keep stumbling and falling into hellfire. They will try to hold on to the faithful, but will not succeed. And then it says, you will see the faithful men and women with their light moving swiftly before them and on their right, and greeted with the words, there is good news for you today. Gardens with streams running in them to remain in them forever. That is the great success. The day the hypocrites, men and women, will say to the faithful, please wait for us, that we may take something from your light. They will be told, go back and grope for the light. Then there will be set up between them a wall with a gate, with mercy on its interior and punishment towards its exterior. They will call out to them, did we not use to be with you? They will say, yes, but you gave yourself into temptation, and you awaited and were doubtful, and false hopes deceived you until the command of Allah, that is death, arrived, and the deceiver deceived you concerning Allah. This is in Surah Hadid. So I'm not going to read the entire chapter, but I want you to pay attention and read everything about it. And next week we are going to discuss this particular chapter before we go on to our next lesson. This is a homework for you to read the chapters, answer the questions that are at the bottom of this, and then we will ask somebody. I will pick up somebody on that day and ask me to present. So all of you be prepared. It's going to be a test. I'm going to ask one of you guys on that day to present something from this chapter's questions. I want more questions coming in. I know all of you are interested in going to Jannah. There's lots more questions about it. So thank you very much for your attention. Muhammad Ali, are you there today? Muhammad Ali? Muhammad Ali?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Muhammad Ali, you had a presentation to do, right, today?
Yes, sir. You know, I'm so sorry. I've got caught up in my coursework for school.
Oh, that's a very poor excuse. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll let you be, but it's a poor excuse.
Right?
And you should have been prepared with that. It wasn't too difficult. It would have taken you half an hour. And that is not the excuse I want to hear from you. I'm sorry. So next week, you be prepared for the tough questions that are coming your way. All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Abbas has a question.
Yes, sir. Sorry about
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Abbas has a question. So do we need to revise the chapters Qiyamah and Imam Mahdi? Yes, please do revise the chapters. Please do revise the chapters. And sorry. Okay, please do revise both the chapters, but on Qiyamah we'll have a discussion. I will ask people to talk to me about certain topics in the Qiyamah. So be very well versed and very familiar with all the stuff that has been given in the chapter on Qiyamah. Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, the chapter on that, I would like you to familiarize yourself with the chapter because I haven't read it. I've just given a lecture. I want you to go through it and answer the one question that is a long question. We have done a discussion on the questions already today, which pretty much was most of the chapter. So thank you very much. If you have questions, I will wait for you to ask your questions. And you can unmute yourself and ask your questions if you want. I will wait. Any questions, please feel free to ask the questions. If you want to leave the meeting, please leave the meeting if you finish the class. No questions coming in. Sorry.
Maulana.
Khuda Hafiz, Murtaza, thank you very much. Is there any homework? Yes, Shafar, you need to read the chapter on Imam Mahdi alayhi salam and the chapter on Qiyamah. Before we go to the next chapter, we will discuss the chapter on Qiyamah again because I'll be asking you questions. That's the homework. Be prepared with the chapter on Qiyamah and do the questions that are there at the bottom of it so that we can discuss some of the questions before we head for the new lessons next week. Is that clear?
Yes.
Thank you. Any more questions? Happy to take them. Nobody? Okay. Let's see questions from the Hamdanis, if you have. You 4 or 5 of them there. Well, Muhammad Ali let me down today, unfortunately. Thank you very much for being there, and hopefully listen from Muhammad Ali next week. And be prepared with the questions on Qiyamah. I'll be picking up on each one of you boys, whether you've read the chapter on Qiyamah or not, and I'll be asking you individually questions. I'll take the names of all of you brothers, inshallah, if Allah keeps me alive. Good. Thank you very much. Khuda Hafiz. Have a good evening, all of you. Oops. End meeting.